Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, it's so good to be together. It's good to celebrate together, to come together as a community. You know, those days are getting a little bit shorter. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but before you know it, it'll be Monday. You go back to school when? Wednesday. And another year will be upon us. And, you know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. So the author of the book Ecclesiastes of Kohelet said, "Ein chadash tachat hashemesh." There's nothing new under the heavens. But when we have a simcha, when we have something to celebrate, all of that is out the window. So it's great to be able to celebrate. And I see your name here a couple of times. You're going to be not just celebrating, but participating, right? All right, good. All right, good. You're going to be the straight guy for the humor. It's going to be fun. So, can you do me a favor? Can you call these people up? Who are we calling up?
For the candle lighting, Jennifer, Rebecca, Linda Bosky, and Diana Tickle.
All right, you're coming for my job. I see. It's fine. Please rise as we light the candles for Shabbat. We light the Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, you may be seated. We're on page 15 in the Sim Shalom, and we're on page, sorry, just give me a sec, page 12 in the transliteration for Psalm 95, L'chuna Ranana.
L'chuna Ranana Nariya letzuri sheinu nekadma fanav betota bizmirat nariya lo ki al gadol Adonai melech gadol al kol Elohim asher b'yadav v'kara netzav v'rashad.
Box on the bottom of the page.
40 שנה כותבתור ואומר אנטועי לבבל והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי ואפי אם יבואון אל מנוחתי. Page 16, we join together.
turn now to page 22 in our Sim Shaloms and page 25 in the transliteration for the Chadodi. Just quickly, was anybody here, you'll know this answer, was anybody here, were you on the trip to Israel? Okay, a couple of people. Did you go to Sfat? Right? So when you sing this song, when you sing L'Chadodi, I want you to picture those hills. If you've ever been to Israel, if you've ever been to the hills of Sfat, picture that scene of people praying on the mountaintops, people going out to greet Shabbat, to greet the Shabbat queen, the Shabbat bride, as the sun was going down on Friday. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to recreate that moment on page 25 in the transliteration, and Sim Shalom, page 22, L'Chadodi.
בואי בשלום, עטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה וצולה. תוך אמוני העם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי וקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated, all except one person who's going to do our psalm. No, not you. Not you, Jeff. All except for Rebecca, who's going to lead us in Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, a special psalm for the day of Shabbat. Page 26 in your transliteration and 23 on Sim Shalom.
Good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God, to affirm your love each morning.
And your faithfulness each night goes back and forth. So this where Lucy they're talking. And now you go.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation.
How vast your works, Adonai. Your designs are beyond our grasp.
The thoughtless cannot comprehend. The foolish cannot fathom this.
The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble.
But me you have
greatly
greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant, to proclaim, Adonai is just, my rock, in whom there is no flaw.
פודין ובון וסייפה דשנים ורננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תבוא.
You want to give the sermon? What? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Shabbat Shalom. Some of you have heard about my dog. I talk about her a lot. Her name is Sweetums, which is for two reasons. One, if anybody remembers the obscure Muppet named Sweetums, which was a big Muppet that was really scary looking, but actually quite gentle. She's part pit, so she fits that mold. Also, we're a big Parks and Rec family, and Sweetums is a thing in Parks and Rec. So we named her Sweetums. And every night, she lays on our bed. And depending on the night, depending on how tired we are, whatever time comes, she's so comfortable, she's, curling right up against us, next to us. And my wife or I will say, okay, Sweetums, ready to go to bed. And she will jump off the bed and go downstairs. And my wife was doing this every night, and I was shocked. Every single night, she would just go downstairs, go into her crate, and never a complaint. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did. And I was fascinated by this. I said, I was shocked because she's kind of, between us, she's a little needy. And so the fact that she had such ease going into the crate always surprised me. And it wasn't until I went down one night and my wife said, by the way, remember to give her a treat when she goes into the crate. And then I said, oh, that makes sense. Now, this week's Parsha, I promise I'm getting to a point. This week's Parsha is Parshat Re'eh, and you're going to talk about it, I think, right? I'm pretty sure. And it says, the first verse says, Re'eh anochi noten lifnechem hayom. Behold, look, I see, and I set in front of you today, bracha uklala. Bracha, blessings, uklala, curses. And the translation goes, Et habracha asher tishmeu et mitzvot Adonai. The blessing, if you listen to the mitzvot of God, and the curses, if you don't. Pretty easy, just like my dog. You do the right thing, you get a treat. You don't do the right thing, well, we don't believe in corporal punishment with the dog, but she doesn't get, let's just say we don't get a treat if we don't keep the mitzvot. And that's what God is treating us like children. Now, you, tomorrow, not really going to be a child anymore. I mean, we talked about this, remember? And I talked with all the kids that you're not an adult yet, but you're not a child. Children learn because we give them positive rewards and negative consequences. And that's what God is setting us up. Except, that's not what the verse says. Everybody translates it as, behold, I set before you this day's blessings and curses if you listen and do the mitzvot. But that's not the word in Hebrew. The word if in Hebrew is im, aleph, mem. The word in Hebrew that is in the verse says, et habracha, the blessing, asher tishmeu, that you do the mitzvot. God is showing us there's no reward for doing the right thing sometimes. That's not why you do the right thing. The reward for doing a mitzvah is a mitzvah. The reward for doing the right thing is doing the right thing. And that's sometimes a hard lesson to learn because we see around us people who aren't always doing the right thing, and we try to do the right thing. One of my favorite litmus tests, and it became very popular during the pandemic, you've seen this. There's now a term for it called the shopping cart test. You guys know what I'm talking about, don't you? When someone's done with the shopping cart, where do they put it? Well, I'm just going to put it in the empty spot next to me so no one can park there. Or I'm going to tilt it up onto the curb and put big letters says cart return, right? Nobody's going to give you a cookie for putting the cart away. Nobody's going to give you a prize or a clap on the back or a golf clap. You just do it. Because sometimes the reward for doing the right thing is doing the right thing. And that's not always an easy thing to do. And as we get older, what did I say that bar mitzvah was all about? It's the one word, it's an R word. There you go. Worst word you can say to a 13-year-old, responsibility. And I say that because it feels like I was a 13-year-old yesterday. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's not always about getting rewarded for doing the right thing. And that's how this maturation process, this coming of age, this becoming a bar mitzvah impacts us personally. That we don't even sometimes have the expectation that we're going to be rewarded for doing the right thing. We just know it's right. So, how do we always know what's right? Well, the verse gives us the answer. Last week, actually, and this week. Last week, or 2 weeks ago now, we read Shema. Hear, O Israel. And here it says, Et habracha asher tishmeu. Not if you shamor, not if you guard, not if you do oseh, but if you listen. If you listen to the commandments. And this is, we'll do the formal charge, which always cracked me up that the rabbi gives a charge. But we'll do that tomorrow. But I'm going to give you how do you know what's right? You've got to listen. And sometimes it means listening to your parents. You guys can pay me for that later. Sometimes it means listening to yourself. And then you ask the question, well, how do I know if I'm being honest? How do I know if I'm rationalizing behavior, or if I'm actually following the right thing? And the answer is when you listen, if it's quiet. Silence, truth is silent. Our conscience is a still small voice. It's not noisy. When we have a lot of noise in our head, that's us trying to do something, trying to figure another way out. But when we're just still, when we just are, when we shema, when we listen, that's when we can follow the right thing. So I hope that you do get rewarded for doing the right thing, that your reward is a good life full of mitzvot, full of good deeds, and following your conscience. Shabbat shalom. I'm going to ask you, please rise if you're able, as we turn to page 28 in the Sim Shalom, and page 33 in the transliteration for the Baruch Hu, the formal call to prayer.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Baruch Hu et Adonai Baruch
Baruch Adonai Amorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Uma'avir yom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom, uvme laila, Adonai sevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu, leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Baruch Shemo.
Hama'ariv aravim.
Amen.
We're on page 29 in the Sim Shalom, page 34 in the transliteration.
Let's join in at the top of the page. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושינמתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוקבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Vayomer Adonai al Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael, ve'amartam alehem, ve'asu lahem tzitzit. Kanfei vigdei levatam, ve'natnu al tzitzit, כנף פתיל תכלת לחיה לכם, לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריכם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושי לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We're on the middle of page 32 in the Sim Shalom and page 40 in the transliteration for Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע היום לפני משה ומדיין. זה אלי, זה אלי, אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
We're on page 33 in the Sim Shalom, page 41 in our transliteration for the Hashkivenu as we call up Kelly Davenport for the Hashkivenu prayer.
Protect us with your gift of peace by helping us to overcome temptation. When we are weak, sustain us. Shelter us in your embrace of peace. When we are caught by conflict or desire.
When we are torn, heal us. When we are tormented, touch us with tranquility.
Cherish our fragmented lives. Make our lives whole again through integrity. Protect us from ourselves. When we falter, help us to conquer the enemy within.
Restore us. Amen.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו אל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Please rise if you're able on page 34 in the Sim Shalom, page 42 in the transliteration for Vishamru.
שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת,
לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. והניעו את בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת
Shabbos
לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל
את השבת
Shabbos
לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו
בני ישראל
את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות
את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם.
יקדש ויקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולם לעולמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה
Bריחו.
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ויאמרו
Amen. The silent Amidah begins on page 35A or B in your Sim Shalom and page 44 in your transliteration.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אמן. Together. עושה שלום שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל אמן אמן. עושה שלום שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. ועל כל יושבי תבל אמן.
Yikadav Yikadav Shemei Rabbah. Be'amad ivra kirute ve'amlich malchute be'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye decho beit Yisrael ba'gala uv'izman kariv ve'imeru. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulal me'omayach yitbarach Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudasha le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Tikabal sloton uvoton dechol Yisrael kodam avoton div shemaya ve'imeru. Yehi Shlam Rabbah min Shemaya ve'chayim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru. Osei shalom bimroma uyasei shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'akol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru.
Amen. Doesn't everybody look so comfortable and nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost a shame to ask them to please rise for the Aleinu on page 51. And I'm going to call up the Sharp family, who's going to open the ark on page 51. Parts of the Sharp family.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסף נותן שמיים על כן נקבל לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות אליו תפארת עוזך להעביר גילוי מן הארץ כי המלכות שלך היא ולעולמי תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. In our community this week, we commemorate the yard sites of Francis Breyer and Ruth Glick Cohen, of Tema Davidson and Son Feng, of Radu Fintescu and Evelyn Gold, of Adeline Gold and Zygmunt Goldberg, of Albert Groman and Ann Hecht, of Esther Hershkowitz and Marvin Holtzman, of Zoltan Jung and Jetta Kligfeld, of Abraham Kokis and Max Kritchman, of Harry Kurtz and Barry Joel Kushner, of Mary Landau and Barry Kushner, of Daniel Lyon and Tilly Manis, of David Minovitz and Jack Neinberg, of Dora Rosenzweig and Joel Ruffman, of Richard Ryder and Howard Schaefer, of Aaron David Schwartz and Susan Schwartz, of Raymond Siegel and Joshua Silver, of Jenny Taylor and Julius Walter, of Rosa Weinstock and Bernard Weisfeld, and of Barak Winter. May all of their memories be for a blessing. All those who have a need or desire to say the Mourner's Kaddish, please rise as we say the Mourner's Kaddish together on page 52. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam ulmei ulmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You may be seated. Do you want some swag? Do you want some stuff? Okay, good. So first we're going to do the USY presentation, and I think you might know the person who's coming up to represent USY.
I don't think I do.
You don't know her?
No.
Well, I don't know. Rebecca, you coming up?
Yes, I'm
You coming up? Okay, great.
Okay, I'm talking to him. Okay.
You can hold it.
Okay.
Same pride.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. My name's Rebecca, and I'm here on behalf of the USY board. So the only thing that I can remember from that fateful Chuck E. Cheese trip in the summer of 2010 was that in the end, I was told that my reign of being an only child was over. I don't remember my reaction to it or much else, but what I do recall is later on, I was being told not to treat you as a pet because I was so obsessed with you and your squishy little face. As you grew, I grew to be obsessed with your personality too. You're kind, intelligent, and down for anything fun. I mean, come on, what other brother would indulge his sister by letting her dress him up in his mom's clothes and makeup? And who can forget the Kids Club talent shows where we do questionable magic tricks, and dance to Pitbull? Though you are appalled by my apparent distaste for sports, and I'm appalled every time you loudly play-by-play narrate each sports game that comes on TV, my love for you will never change. I have had the privilege of taking your iconic Instagram photos and driving us to In-N-Out and Pho, but my greatest blessing was growing up alongside you. I have loved watching you blossom into the kind, intelligent, and incredible young man that you are. I'm here to present you with this Bechol Echad, which translates to in one voice. In this book, you will find a plethora of Sloach and Ruach songs to keep your spirits high at USY events and beyond. You did and will continue to do wonderfully. I am so proud of you. I love you forever, Jack.
Nice job, Rebecca. Judy Callahan is coming up for the sisterhood, and then Jeff, you're next. You're on deck.
So, Jack, the rabbi tonight talked about the still small voice that you have inside you. Until this point, you have had voices that are probably not so still and not so small of your parents, who have provided, and even sometimes your sister, that's probably even less appreciated, that they are a model of leadership in the community, of involvement in your schools and in your activities, the involvement here at the synagogue on all levels. You have been very fortunate in all that they've given you up to this point, to now when you have to listen to your own still small voice, though I assume there will still be some loud and not so still voices offering you suggestions. Sisterhood is honored to present you with this Kiddush cup. We know wherever you go, you will remember today and this whole weekend that is truly a celebration of you becoming a young adult in this community, taking on responsibilities and standing up in front of the congregation and teaching us tomorrow what it is to be a Jewish teacher as well as a learner, though the learning will never stop. We are so proud of you. Mazel tov. If I can look at it.
Yes, you are. You were on deck. Now you're up.
Thank you. What does it mean to be on deck? You know that, right?
It's a baseball term.
Oh, yes, right. True. Well, I'm glad you told me that. I wouldn't have known. Welcome, everyone. Good evening. I'm Jeff Landau, and I'm here to represent the Pasadena Jewish Temple and Center Men's Club. Now, I've known you for a long time, and I've known your parents for a very long time. And it has been a joy, okay? I think of you, and I think of your parents trying to say the 4 questions on Passover, and I really hope you've gotten better at it by now, because it was a little stumbling the last time, but you're good. I also got to know your father so much when he was vice president and when I was president, and then over all of my objections, he agreed to take on the role of president, no matter how much I tried to talk him out of it. I am really so impressed with you. I think you're a fine young man in nearly every regard. I've read the stories about you, we've talked. I've noticed one thing is you have so much hair that I can, yes, here, this is always when, where's my, okay, all right. However, I have a story to tell. This will be very important to you. Your idol is Marv Alpert, right? Who was a great sports announcer and who learned to be a sports announcer as a child. And he practiced like you do in all of his sports, and he became a world-class sports announcer. But who was his mentor? You don't know. Now, I'm going to tell you. It was Marty Glickman. And Marty Glickman, who became a world-class sports announcer, this is a very interesting story because he was actually, when he was in college, he made the U.S. Olympic team to go to the Berlin Olympics, I think in 1936, and he was to race in the 400-meter relay. He was Jewish, and he was very proud of having made this, challenge, so to speak. He was not allowed to race. Why? Because he was Jewish, and the Olympic Committee thought it would be offensive to our great hero Adolf Hitler if he was allowed to run. so he didn't race. Jesse Owens raced, who was a great, great athlete, and won. The team won. So I want you to think about those two and read about Marty Glickman and learn a lot about what it means in those days to be a great announcer for the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Knicks, and all of those great teams. So on behalf of the PJTC Men's Club, I have here something. What is this?
A yod.
A yod. And what is a yod?
It's what you use to point at the Torah.
Right. You use it to keep your place in the Torah. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow when you'll be using this to read for the first time from the Torah as an adult. Just keep the hair out of your eyes. And it's not the ones we used to do, but it's the new ones. So here you go. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. So we got squishy face. You got to get better at the 4 questions, and that your sister used to dress you up in your mom's clothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a good thing we haven't embarrassed you at all. So, should we do more, or should we do that?
Let's do that.
Yeah. So let's do the closing song. Okay. So,
I'm going to ask you to please rise if you're able. No need of prayer books. Let's join in. Odiamo shalom aleinu. Odiamo shalom aleinu. Odiamo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Odiamo shalom aleinu. Odiamo shalom aleinu. Odiamo shalom aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom. Shalom aleinu, odiamo shalom aleinu, odiamo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odiamo shalom aleinu, odiamo shalom aleinu ve'al. Shabbat shalom, join in. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Come on back. Should I start?
What?
Should I start?
Maybe wait a little longer.
All right, now I'm going to go. Vayera vayivoker yom hashishi, vayichulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am, vayichal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi, vayikadesh oto, kivo shavat mikol melachto, asher bara Elohim lasot. Savri chaverai, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikara l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'yetziat mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ava uratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Did you get the wine or the grape juice?
Tastes like grape juice.
Yeah, that's grape juice. Okay. Just checking. Here, come here. Jack, come. Flip them over. There you go. All right, now I'll do it too. And we'll dry them. Here you go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Yeah, no, I wasn't giving him a knife. Manja, Shabbat Shalom.